From the subreddit antiwork. Anyone just not have the fight in them and is thinking about just moving to Europe? The current work culture is too entrenched and the COVID situation hasn't changed things much in a meaningful way at the national level. I'm not optimistic that it can change. There are just too many of the old breed in power, bringing up their successors in the same old mindset. I'm just tired. So tired. Edit, to all the stay and fight people. What fight? There isn't one. That's the point. And even if there was, the odds of winning are so small that tactical retreat makes a lot more sense. Edit 2, for those who presume to know me. Of course I know I can't just waltz into a country and become a citizen. Of course I know it's hard, nigh impossible without an in-demand skill or a job offer. No-bleeping-shit mate, how do you know I don't have any of those things? Going to Europe is a lot harder than you think it is. I tried to get a blue card but couldn't get a contract to work, probably because of COVID. I work in the IT industry, so I thought it'd be easy. Would but am poor, woman shrugging. I've thought about going nomad and just buying a shit ton of survival gear on credit and fucking off to never be heard from again. Anyone wanna come chill with some bears? If you're from the US and can freelance, then you can go for the Netherlands, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague, lots of other great little cities. Look into the DAF Treaty. I did that and it makes it easy to move there. Permanent residency after 5 years. Otherwise, maybe try going for a student visa to study or work sponsorship if you're in a very high demand career like tech, engineering or research. The work visa path is super difficult because EU companies have to hire EU citizens first before applying for outside visa sponsorship. There are other paths to Europe for Americans, especially if you're nearer to retirement: Portugal, Spain, Italy. Good luck. It's not much better in Ireland anyways. We have taken on the American mindset wholeheartedly for decades now. America will not change until it is made to suffer much more than it already has. The propaganda is just too strong. I have no skills or money. I'm stuck in America. It feels like I'm walking through water, and it gets a little deeper every day. From Scandinavia. It is not impossible to come here, but you will have some work cut out for you, no doubt. Seeing what bureaucratic hell my coworkers went through, sheesh. As much as I completely relate to this post and also have thought the same thing and would love to do that, it's so much money to move. I feel trapped and stuck in this capitalist cesspool, grinding every day until you collapse country called the USA. Good luck. Getting into a foreign country is very, very difficult and expensive. Moving abroad is not easy, for many reasons. If you're coming to Europe, avoid the UK. It's pretty much Diet America here, or at least it feels like we're trying to be. I'm a dual citizen US-UK and they are both a bit shit. There was a time I thought worst case I'll go to Spain or somewhere like that. Nope, not anymore. Cheers Brexit, no more European passport, so all the joys of bureaucracy if I want to do that now. The fight is to lay down. That's how we win. But we all have to do it, not just little groups here and there. We have to literally be like, nope, done. Not working. I wish. Unfortunately, I think I'm doomed to stay trapped and go down with the ship. I don't mind working, but even with my somewhat decent job I'll likely never get ahead. Go where you are happy, but be glad you aren't in Latin America. God knows I'd leave this place for almost any other place in the world, no joke, this is a cry for help. If you're under 30, look into a working holiday visa to NZ or Aussie. It's limited to a year, but you might have fun and find an employer willing to help you make a longer term change. Most Americans literally can't afford to. I'm in Europe, France, and it's not that much better. Worse than that, our leading class tries its hardest to get us to work more like the US. I want to live in Norway. Honestly, I've been putting a lot of thought into either moving to Denmark or founding an off-the-grid sustainable community in Colorado. Either seems like a better option than this. It ain't easy to just move to Europe. We gotta stay here and fight. There is a fight. This particular sub was, maybe still is, the fastest growing. That is something. One of the reasons things seem so bad right now is because this is the most afraid of losing their influence the wealthy have felt in this country since before most of us were born. They are tearing back the veil and being careless in their fear, trying to close the box. Europe has problems of its own, they're just different problems. No continent or country has a lock on utopia. I would not leave the USA unless I felt I or my family was in personal peril. I don't feel that way right now, but that might change if certain radical parties manage to seize power, Or my child marries a person of color and my grandchildren are at risk of being shot by the police, or the Constitution is abolished, or, on second thought, maybe I'd better have a bag packed, just in case. Been contemplating it for 6 years. I'm waiting for my youngest to become an adult. Get me out of here. Only another year to go. All the time. It's unfortunately harder than it seems and I'm broke. Don't come to Romania. You will be worse than America. So restricted, so little pay. Guess how much I get a month? £250 plus £100-ish card for groceries, like it's unbelievable. I always get from old people, oh just settle down, work for 45 years and you can retire, like for this pay? For 45 years? I'll better get myself out of this world than work that slave job for 45 years, but I have to keep this job because of COVID. If they mandate the vaccine, I can't even go work anymore and have to live with my parents. Probably want to avoid England unfortunately. Sincerely an Englishman. If we lose federal abortion rights, I'm out. I will not raise my children in a country where one of them is a second-class citizen. I realize this is a bit off topic, but anti-work has really allowed me to see how all this stuff is interconnected. The little guy just keeps getting shit on day after day. Now they go after our fundamental rights. My wife and daughter will be claiming asylum and we will move as a family. They don't want us. Have you met us? I wish I had the money to move to Europe. I live in Canada so I'm not quite there yet, but thank God my girlfriend is an Italian citizen. If we ever get married it's nice to have a backup plan with dual citizenship. Of course my family is British, but I'm fucked now because of Brexit. Which is okay, because I wouldn't want to live in that UK anyway. In any case, if you can't handle it and you have the means to do so, you should consider leaving. It will require a collective movement to change the direction of the US and I don't see that happening. COVID and BLM weren't enough to kick the US into gear and instead of revolutionary energy we see interest peaking in QAnon cults. And even in its best days it was nowhere near the level of social security in European countries. There's no shame in prioritizing yourself and making the most of this one life you have. Yeah, I hate it here in the US, there's nothing patriotic about it. No way. Europe has some really nasty stuff brewing that will play out over the next decade or two. The labor market here will settle out and I think the average worker will benefit. Europe is moving the same direction. Worldwide, the working class is going to have to get back its traditions of radical unionism and class struggle. Mass movements are coming. Billions of workers are as frustrated as you are, it's just a matter of time before this tinder goes up in flames. May 68 is not very far away, you just watch. As a European, work is work and whether it be in America anywhere else it fucking sucks and people will fuck you over. What makes you think Europe any better? It's dogshit everywhere now. The world we live in today is a result of people running from their problems instead of dealing with them head on. Americans complaining about immigrants coming to the US but have to problem immigrating to Europe because things are too tough here. When you think go to Europe, you realize how much of a romanticized your perspective is? This is a global problem. When Americans realize that is when things will start to change. It's hard just to get into Canada, much less the Nordic countries. Here's the deal. Very few of us have the ability and means to escape to one of these areas. However, many of us banded together with common cause could change the trajectory of the workers' plight in the US. Local elections are so important. I can't stress this enough. It all starts at the local level, then professes up to the higher chambers of government. Look at Virginia, a Republican just won because he ran on eliminating CRT from K-12 schools in Virginia. Funny thing is CRT isn't taught in VA schools. It's a graduate level class in college. This is all they have to offer. Red meat lies to rile up the hogs whose brains have been decayed by Fox News and on. Apathy is killing this country. People sitting on the sidelines not voting is what's holding it all back. Every single election you can vote for, you should be voting. It's the only way we can continue progress. Find candidates that are pushing change and support and elevate them to make the change we all want. It's a lot of work, but FFS, if we don't do it we only have ourselves to blame. Lol. Moved to SE Asia, life is good here. Been in Vietnam for 8 years now. I pay $350 rent for my own 1BD apartment. Edit, I pay half rent with my GF. So total is $700 a month. Sorry for the confusion, but there's 1-bed apartments and studios go from $550 to $700 in Saigon. Yeah, I couldn't even get into Europe through Canada when we had lower COVID numbers. Good luck getting into Europe through the USA the way it is low. I have a path to dual citizenship and think about it all the time.